Welcome. Hey, Chess, what the hell are you doing? We're
I was looking out the
live.
window. Sorry.
Well, we're
I
not
was seeing
live,
if
but
my
we're
wife was
recording.
home, and she is. I fixed her dinner,
Oh,
and so,
good job.
yeah.
All right. So, welcome back to another episode of TSP.
Man,
Today we're
this thing's
here
gonna
with
lag on.
Pam.
I'm tired. Hold on.
Now, what are you doing? Hey, it's your show, chaps, man. You go ahead.
Oh, changing. I've got to. There we go. There we go. I'm good.
We gotta-
I'm good. Just after the national anthem, it's good.
All right. We gotta fix that for you one of these days. All right. So, welcome back to another
I'm sorry,
episode.
man. I'll come back. It's just
You're good. You're good. So today we're here with Pam. I met Pam at an event a couple of weeks ago. Single Tree Barbecue did us a solid and had a big old fundraiser. I met Pam, talked her into coming on the show, and she said she was super nervous. So that's what we're here for. We're here to make people nervous.
yeah, and to take away that nervousness at the same time.
All right. As everybody knows, our show is to try to combat veteran suicide. Everybody knows the rally is 22 veterans every single day commit suicide. That number is not quite there. It's probably more than double that. But our goal is to get veteran stories, get them out there, and hopefully save a life in the meantime. And all of our contact information. If you guys are having dark thoughts or whatever, our contact information is down in the description. Please, please, please call us. We'll try to get you some help. If you happen to run across this handsome fella in his cookbook, there's a QR code in here. You can scan this QR code. It's got all my contact information in it. Matter of fact, I'm not going to mention any names, but a veteran reached out to me a week ago and said he was having anger issues, and he wanted to know of how we could help him. So I reached out to Chaps. He gave me some contact information. I turned around and gave it right back to him, and he was deeply thankful for that. So
that makes me feel good because I remember looking that stuff up and giving it to you. I never heard anything, so that's good.
Yeah. I've been super busy. We haven't actually done the show in like 2 weeks, man. We've been slacking, but we've been super hammered. Like my daughter just got married. My granddaughter's birthday's coming. There's a whole bunch of stuff, but we try to go every Sunday. But
you gotta. That's it.
$5.
That's $5 right there. That's $5.
When you own a business, it's on all the time.
Yes. But this cookbook is a combination of recipes and TSP. There's a bunch of quotes in here, and all the proceeds go to the nonprofit Minutes Wisely. So if you haven't bought a book yet, please do, everybody. And
it's awesome. It's got some really, really good recipes in there.
The nonprofit sends veterans and first responders to sporting events. As a matter of fact, update, Chief Warrant Officer Hopper, him and his uncle, Navy veteran, we sent him to Detroit. They saw a football game up there, Detroit Lions versus Seattle Seahawks. That actually lost that game. And then this past Sunday, I sent a Vietnam veteran and his daughter to the Detroit Lions game, which was freaking awesome. So this is what the show does, man. We generate money and we send veterans to sporting events.
Question
That's what we do.
Oh, wait, I did see the picture. So you did get the check. So we're good to go. Or you're good to go.
Hey, thanks for bringing that up.
Welcome.
So being fully transparent here, Charlie at Single Tree Barbecue, like I said, he did a fundraiser. That's where I met Pam. He wrote me a check last week, and it was for $2,500, which I was super stoked for. Thank you, Charlie.
Thanks, Charlie. I hope you're having a fun time in Panama City right now, and I hope you're watching this.
Yeah. Thanks for inviting us to, Charlie.
Yeah.
We like Panama.
Listen, hey, I'll be in Panama City in March and in May. So, Fleek, you're coming with. We're going to go diving. We're going to go to Naval Special Activities Panama City. Right across the way is my buddy's dive shop, and we're going to go dive.
don't know about diving because I'll drown, but
why not?
I'll go down there and
you guys
I'll go down there and
spread
the word.
Right?
Yeah, I can swim. I could tread water for 15 minutes with my clothes on.
Yeah. Well, extra clothes.
Extra clothes, and then you make, you take your pants off and you make a you blow it and you make
slap it on the water, make it floaty.
I've had to do that stuff too, shipmates.
Yeah, it's fun. All right, I think that's all I got. Before we get started, I know, Chaps, you had some things to get out there.
I had one announcement. October 21st, we're doing the STEAM Fest in Murfreesboro at the Murfreesboro Airport. STEAM is science, technology, engineering, something A, and then math. I can't remember what the A stands for. But one of our members, our VFW members, Navy, Lieutenant Commander Matthew Wiz Buckley, who we've had on this show before, he is bringing his L-39 jet. And he's the cream of the crop for Saturday.
He's a solid dude.
It's his thing, and he's going to be talking about no fallen heroes, and he's going to give rides in his jet, and it's going to be awesome. Our VFW will actually have a table out there, and I believe Commander Fleek, past Commander Fleek, will have a table for Minutes Wisely out there as well.
I'm planning on it.
Starts at 9 and ends at 1.
So, if you haven't seen that episode, I highly recommend it. Mr. Buckley was asked to test flight a brand new FA-18 Hornet, and he took it for one hell of a ride, and he broke it. That thing never flew again.
He broke a $65 million plane, and he got a slap on the wrist.
One flight, brand new, and all he was supposed to do was check it out. For real.
I lose a PAS 13 in Iraq, and I get hazed for like 2 weeks. I mean, come on. Where's the fairness in that?
Well, that's the difference between an officer and an enlisted there, buddy.
We are enlisted swine.
Yes. Is that all you got before we get on to Pam?
That's all I got, man. I'm good.
All right, Pam, take 30 seconds and introduce yourself.
Yeah, elevator speech. Go.
Elevator.
Okay. Well, my name is Pam Barnes, and I joined the Navy when I was 21, and I stayed in for 4 years, got out in 2014, and I decided to go to school for nursing. That didn't pan out because that's just a lot of baggage to carry, and I had a lot of baggage from the military to carry, so it was just too much. And I decided to open a marketing agency, and I've been doing that ever since, and it's super fun, and I really enjoy being able to navigate people through marketing.
Nice.
As Navy,
I like that.
That's catchy.
You should somehow put that on your business card.
That would be kind of cool. I've got compasses on everything that I do, because and then I of course give compasses as gifts. It's just it's me.
I like it. So maybe one day you can help us market this podcast.
Yeah. And we need help marketing our VFW a little bit better. And
we're not talking VFW today.
I'm just saying, dude, she put it out there saying marketing. We need it.
Yeah.
And you need it too. We both need it.
Yes.
I do all of that. There's websites are my bread and butter. They're my favorite. That's what I really dive into and do. But I can do some of the other stuff, like lead generating and sales funnels and email marketing. Graphic design, of course, is how I started. I love it so much. And then, of course, branding, because you can't have a really good graphic without really solid branding, brand voice. I could talk about that all day long, so we're not going to talk about that. But
no, I love that. That's music to my ears, because you know why? It saves me money.
Right.
I will definitely be reaching out to you.
Yeah.
So just recently I brought on a shipment that I served with, and he's going to be my executive director. And so once he takes the seat, he's actually moving to Tennessee, closes on his house tomorrow. And once that happens, I told him I was going to give him 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks to settle in. And after 2 weeks, we're going to start meeting and try to push Minutes Wisely even bigger. I want to make it huge. I want to save lives. That's my goal in life, is to save lives. So I would definitely love your help.
Absolutely.
We'll be reaching out. Yes, we'll definitely reach out in the next couple of weeks. As soon as you get settled.
My job in nonprofit is where I started.
Oh, excellent.
Because I have hurt people, and I didn't want to hurt people anymore. So I was trying to be the change in the world that you need. That's what this says. And so I started in nonprofits when I started my career because I just wanted to help people. I needed help. So I was trying to be the change that I needed, which is, a safe place to be and understanding and somebody just to have my back kind of thing, a trustworthy, safe place. So that's what I became for a lot of these nonprofits. And I love the nonprofit community. If you ever are in a place where you're like, I just don't know, nonprofit is where you go because you get to help people on a regular basis. And it just, it's so beneficial to the soul to do that.
Yeah. My favorite thing is after I send somebody to a game, when they send me photos of them and their guests, man, I get more joy out of that. And I don't care that it costs me money because, I really don't give two craps about money. I'll just love to see somebody's face. Yeah, it's amazing.
Work is key. It's amazing. It's step 12 in AA. Give of yourself to others and help them. And like Fleek, we're both inundated with phone calls on people asking or wanting help. And, I do the Journey Home, Coldest Nights. So this is my third season with them. I get to take care of the homeless when it's 32 degrees or below from November 15th to March 15th. And all the money, I make money, but I don't keep it. I give it back to other nonprofits or to my VFW. Last year was to my VFW. So our VFW.
Good stuff. So what year did you go into boot camp? Would that have been 2011? 10.
Yeah, it was 10.
What boot camp did you go to? Was it Great Mistakes? Was that the only one at the time?
Great Lakes. Yes, that's where I went.
Hey, Orlando closed down in 96.
What years did the other ones close? Because when I went in, there was 3 of them. There was Great Lakes,
96,
Orlando and San Diego. Because when I went in, all the women went to Orlando. And the men went to Great Lakes or San Diego.
Fleek, I was a freshman in college in Orlando in Winter Park. And in 96, that's when the base was like being torn down as I was driving to a bar. I was like, what's that? They're like, oh yeah, that's the Navy base. They're tearing it down. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I went to Outback and got hammered. Sorry. I'm a freshman, man. What do we do? Freshman drink.
So Andrew, all of Andrew's early stories have started out drinking. With I got hammered. But now he talks about AA. He came full circle and he's sober.
5 years sober, man. It saved my life. And Save a Warrior. Jake Clark.
So you graduated from Great Lakes. I'm assuming that you went through the tunnel and you had to sing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. Boot camp is fun. And all that. Yeah. It was a lot of really amazing memories, to be honest. And I forget about it. I don't know about you guys, but I forget where I was when I went in and where I am now. Whenever I go and I feel intimidated or feel like maybe I can't do this, I have other people remind me, well, you do realize you went through boot camp, right? And I'm like, oh, yeah. You do realize that you've done, but I don't know about you guys, but I don't feel like that's a big thing. You know what I mean? I don't feel like the military was a big thing in a lot of ways. Like, it's not something that I'm like, oh, I triumphed that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I hurdled that. It's just more of that was part of my life, part of my journey. And now it's not. So.
Well, boot camp is not for the faint of heart. I mean, Marine Corps boot camp, Navy boot camp, Air Force, whatever. I mean, still, it's, 9 to 13 weeks of hell, and you made it. You made it. You got to call yourself a sailor Fleek, you did that. 13 weeks. I cried when I got my EGA. I cried like a baby on the parade deck when I got that. And then as a infantry machine gunner, 3 deployments. I mean, yeah, sometimes I forget that, but I remember the camaraderie. I remember the bad times. I really remember the good times, and they can't take that away from us, Pam. They can't. We did something that not many people can do. I mean, look at the recruiting now. Hardly anyone's going. I mean, they can't even make their numbers.
Right.
Yeah, forget about it. I think I shoved it so far deep down. I just recently started going to the VA, and I just recently started pulling out all that trauma. So it's been great. But I just don't think about it. I don't see it as, it is remarkable and it's amazing. It's just in my head, I guess I devalue it because I also devalue myself at times, which I think we all do that. But I'm quick to toot anyone else's horn. But when it comes to toot my own horn, I'm like, hi, I'm Pam. Nice to meet you. And then there it goes. So boot camp was really, really fun in a lot of ways. I made some really, really amazing friends that I still talk to this day. And I'll just, you don't have to talk to them every day. And that's the thing that I really like about the camaraderie of all of it is I can go a year and a half without saying anything to them. And I can call them and be like, hey, remember when ... and then have a good laugh together, or like, hey, I talked to one of my really, really good friends, and I know you have at least one of those from my last year in the military. And I called her and I was like, remember this? And then we went through just so I could work through all that, because I'm just now going through all of that because I shoved it deep, 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 deep down.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have that and have somebody that understands. I don't go to the VFW. I went one time and I cried and I left. So I'm working on all of that, but we all have our own ways of coping with the whole process, because it is a very intense process. Boot camp is not easy. And the amount of stress that you put on your body. I went to drinking too. I drank a whole lot from probably 6 months after being in the military until, about a year or two after I got out, because it was one of those. And let's see. Yeah, I'll leave it there because you can ask more questions. Sorry.
Are you from Middle Tennessee?
I am. I was born and raised in a little town outside of Manchester, Tennessee. And I met my husband right before I joined. I don't even remember what happened, honestly, but I remember wanting to go to the recruiter's office, and I fell in love with the Navy. I wanted Air Force, but I didn't want those grades. I failed out of high school. I don't know about you guys, but
I did too.
I did high school. And,
I passed. I went to college after. Yeah, I went to college after.
Okay. Well, we didn't.
Okay. Hey, but look at you. Hey, look at you guys now. You guys are so successful. It's amazing.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Again, it's the whole valuing thing. I'm working on that. But I met my husband, and I wanted to go to the recruiter's office, and I was 20. I hadn't turned 21 yet. And we were just talking and everything. Fell in love with the Navy. I had to work on my test scores to get those up where they needed to be, because my education just wasn't where it needed to be. And passed and signed up to leave. 8 months later, got married. It was a very fast year. It was a whole lot of change. Met my husband in March, got married in December, and left for boot camp in April. So 13 months.
Yeah.
Big bottle. A whole lot of change in 13 months.
What was your MLS?
Oh, I was a CS. I forgot to put that on there. My bad.
You're good.
Yeah.
CS. And that is?
Culinary specialist, I think is what it was called.
Oh, you're a chef. That
Yeah.
is so awesome.
Did you go to A school for that?
I did. My A
where
school
was
was
that?
only 6 months, and it was in Great Lakes. I've got some fun stories about that one. That was really fun. But I was in food industry, and I wanted to be a chef since I was like 16 years old. I was going to be a head chef and have my own restaurant. So I went in there in the military doing that because I'm like, this will be easy. Boy, did I know. I learned real quick. And I got bored too. But that's skipping ahead. And I did something else.
After you graduated your A school, where did you go?
Oh, I went to Washington State. I wanted to get as far away from Tennessee as possible. If they would have let me go to Hawaii or any of the other locations, I could have went, but I couldn't have brought my husband. So newlyweds and then moving clear across the country, the math just didn't add up very well. So we went to Washington State.
Seattle?
Yeah, Bremerton, Washington.
Bremerton.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Were you on a ship?
Yes, I was on two. So which one was on first? John C. Stennis is which one I was on.
That's an aircraft carrier, chaps.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. And
yes.
I had some very, very good poutine in Bremerton. My brother was actually a chef as well.
You can't say poutine. That's a bad word.
No, you can say poutine. Poutine is awesome. My brother he went to UW, and then he was a chef at Canlis in Seattle. He was a sous chef for 5 years before he died. But he was a very, very, very good chef. And I love Washington. Love it. It's amazing out there.
It's beautiful. It is so beautiful. It looks like the mountains are painted. And I was so excited, and we really, really enjoyed it. I was 3 months in my first command. I became head chef, or not head chef, sorry. I did not want to do the cooking because all you do is throw spaghetti sauce in a thing out of a can, and it's so boring. So I became really, really good friends with this girl named Kara, and she taught me how to bake, and I became head baker on the ship. So I was the main honcho that everybody talked to, and I was an E2. At that time, I had just turned E2, which was really exciting. So I had all this pull at an E2. It was probably too much power in the beginning, but we'll just, leave it at that.
Yeah. That's great.
So
yeah,
I was a yeoman on an aircraft carrier, and I made friends with, there's a couple of people you want to make friends with when you're on a carrier. Yeoman's a good one to make friends with because he's got connections everywhere. You want to make friends with cooks, and you want to make friends with supply.
Yeah.
So obviously the reason why you want to make friends with the cooks on like Friday night when we were deployed, I would just go down to the mess deck and be like, hey, bro, can you make me a pizza? And he would make me a fresh pizza, and I would take it down to my berthing area. And all my friends would be like, man, how the hell did you get that? I'm like, hey, man, I'm the yeoman. I can do shit.
Yeah. I never had to do my laundry, ever. 1, I didn't have time. And 2, I would always go take them cookies and cake and whatever they wanted. And, I never did my laundry.
Yeah, you got to barter for sure, yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, I folded it, but I never had to wash it.
Yep.
You a shellback?
Yeah.
Huh?
Are you a shellback?
I guess.
Did you cross the equator?
Yes. It was so long ago. I don't remember.
Hey,
so
I will never forget kissing King Neptune's wife, who's another dude, by the way. And he was dressed
You loved it.
I loved it. It was USS Kearsarge 2007. It was in the Mediterranean. Actually, it was below Africa when we got the shellback. But I'm glad you're a shellback. That's great.
Where did you sail to on the carrier? Do you remember that?
So that was Dubai. Those areas.
There twice. Very nice.
Yeah. But let me rephrase. I did not do that though. We were mainly coastal is when I was on it. Yeah. So there's more to the story to that. All good stuff. But I ended up getting flown off, catapulted off the aircraft carrier. So Shellback. I'm understanding shellback now. My bad. No, I am not a shellback.
Oh, man.
There's a big celebration and stuff. Again, I have shoved a whole lot of this down, so I don't remember all the terminology and everything, but no, I did not. And sorry, I'm having a moment. I'm going to start crying.
You're good. Take your time, man.
Yeah, take your time.
But anyways, so yeah. Any other questions? My bad.
No, you're good. You told me that when I met you that you get emotional. So if you ever need a break, just let me know.
Yeah,
I do, and I'm nervous, so I didn't remember the terminology, and I apologize.
No, you're good.
No. I apologize for that question. Sometimes I love the Navy. My dad was Navy. He was a lieutenant commander, Woodby Island. My mom was a Navy wife. They were there for 2 years. He was a psychiatrist. He was a base psychiatrist back in 67, 68, something like that. And he painted this huge picture of the Navy, and I loved it. It just, I don't know. I didn't go Navy. I went Marine Corps instead. So, but I have the utmost respect for my fellow sailors and shipmates.
Oh, thank you. I did a lot of underways, and we went to areas, but to be honest, I could not tell you. I really don't, because I never really left the ship. A lot of people did, but I was going through a lot at that time, and newlywed, and I was not in the place that I am today. And we all go in. I remember when I went in, I was so excited, and I was like, I'm going to be doing something super great, and helping people is my big passion. I love helping people. I'm a little bit more of a giver, and if I could work for free, I would work for free 110%. You just can't make a living that way unless you have a nonprofit, and I just do not have the heart for a nonprofit because I think I would be crying every other day, and I would have to have a support system for my nonprofit. But anyways, so I remember getting really excited and all of this, and I had all these big dreams and plans that I was going to do 20 years, and the first boot camp was fine. I actually excelled in boot camp. I was one of the top in my class in grades and in endurance. I was an endurance junkie back then. And it was really, really exciting to be like the third fastest person. And I could bust out more crunches and push-ups than most people could. Because I started working out. I don't know if you guys did, but I started working out 6 months to a year. Well, no, it wasn't a year. As soon as I decided to join the Navy, I started working out. So again, there was 13 months from when I went into boot camp versus. So I took it very, very seriously. I was hardcore. This is what I was going to do for the rest of my life. And I got in. First command was great. Everything was great. And then it was just the stress. I don't know what happened, but I changed. And so we did several underways. I don't know if you were on an aircraft carrier, right? You're gone
on a LHD 3.
Yeah, LHD. They're gone all the time. You're gone all the time. So they tell you that you're going to be out for, again, I'm trying not to cry, for a year and a half in a deployment. Well, sorry, a year or so in a deployment, but they don't talk about the underways, or they didn't do that to me. So I calculated it, and out of 3 years, my first 3 years, I was only going to be home 8 months, because you're calculating the 2 weeks out, 3 days out, 3 months out. You know what I mean? Like you're gone all the time. So
I was gone. I was deployed 3 times. I was only home for maybe a year.
Yeah.
At Camp Lejeune.
Yeah. And how long were you in?
4 years, same as you. 05 was Karma, Iraq, Ramadi, Iraq in 2006, and then the USS Kearsarge. And then you add up that time that I was actually home, it's probably 11 months I was home.
Yeah.
All the other time I was either training or deployed. I mean, it was the deployment tempo before 2008 was pretty rough.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot. So I joined my first ship. We went on a crap ton of underways, and we were gone a lot, and we went, I think it was the Philippines. Can't remember.
Westpac.
I would guess so. Yeah, because it would be Dubai, Philippines. What's the other country? Thailand. Oh my goodness, Thailand. No, I never went to Thailand, but I had a friend that went to Thailand. He told me all about Thailand.
Yeah, they wouldn't even let. We were like a day away from Thailand. They wouldn't even let us off the ship. 900 Marines in Thailand. Forget about it.
Bad.
We got in trouble on every single port that we got in trouble in Dubai, in Kuwait. I mean, you name a port, Malta, Crete. We got in trouble in every single port that we ever went to. It was funny but embarrassing at the same time.
Right. Well, because you're crammed on this ship with the same people. You eat, sleep, work, and have fun, which you can't really do a whole lot of fun because in America, we aren't allowed to have alcohol on the ships, but all the other places can. They can have at least 1 to 2, The
Brits,
yeah. We didn't get that. So, I had a friend of mine. He was actually brewing because, again, we were chefs, so we had the food, but he was brewing wine, or not really brewing, but he was making wine.
Awesome.
Yeah. I did have a glass of wine while I was on my first really long underway with.
Wow. That's cool. That's really cool. Wow.
Yeah. It wasn't very good. And I don't think it did much because it didn't brew very long, but we got creative. I knew another girl, she got so stressed out and she worked night shift and she was drinking the flavoring, like the lemon flavoring and the vanilla flavoring. It's alcohol. So she was drinking that.
Wow.
So it's like.
That's hardcore, man.
It's hardcore. But again, when you're stressed and you got everything going on and you don't get an escape. So of course, when you hit a port, everybody goes freaking buck wild. And you hear so many stories of people getting left behind. And of course, if you get arrested there, they may not come get you if they have to go, or they will. Yeah. And then, it's a lot. So
we had 3 guys get arrested in Dubai.
Yep.
Yeah. And they were in jail for 8 months before President Bush had to get them out.
Yeah.
Because they said a bad word to a royal and she made an arrest and they were gone. We didn't see them at least until 2008.
The hell with that.
Yeah, and I think you get a dishonorable discharge if you.
They did. All 3 of them got. All 3 of them got big chicken dinners.
The big chicken dinner.
Yeah.
BCD, baby, BCD.
Yeah, I think it was the stress of all of that. So I don't know about you guys. When I got out of boot camp, this is actually a really funny story. They told you that you can't kiss in uniform, and of course, I had a newlywed husband, and you have to be really professional and all this other stuff. Well. It hit me really hard and I didn't realize how hard it hit, but I wouldn't let anybody touch me. So my husband's on this side and my brother's on this side in the back seat and I'm over here like this. And they're like acting like they're going to touch me. I've got a picture of it because I just graduated and got out. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then that night, because they say you can't get in trouble or they'll put you right back in boot camp. So that night, my dad, he went over and he thought it was a turn lane, but it like dropped off. In Chicago, they have like just concrete blocks that you can get on, but it drops off on the other side. So he's in the car and he's driving thinking it's a turn lane. Well, he drops the car. I hit the floorboard of the car because I'm like, I am not. If you get a ticket and the cop sees me and I'm doing something bad, even though I wasn't doing anything bad at all, but I'm just like, I'm not going back. So I hit the floorboard and just kind of like, oh my goodness. But you don't realize how much that hits you until something like that happens. And, that was literally 2 hours, 3 hours after I got out of boot camp. And then I did not help my parents move the car because they had to pull the car off because like a wheel was hanging off. Yeah, no, I just sat in the car. I'm like, you just got to pull my weight. I lost like 20 pounds, so you can pull me. It'll be fine. So we still tell that story to this day because it's the threatening, there's so much threatening in it that I was just paranoid to do anything. And I now have paranoia. I never had it before, but I have it now because it's just go and go and go and do and don't do that. Or you go, So I don't know. I never really drank and drove in the military. I would always have somebody drive me, or I'd Uber. Uber was really big in Washington, so that was awesome.
We didn't have Uber at Camp Lejeune in 2005.
Well, it was a little later, and they had that. And also, the cool thing, I don't know if any of the listeners or you guys had been in Washington and Seattle and stuff. So you can take the ferry from Bremerton and go right over. You don't have to drive. You can just, get dropped off at the ferry, take the ferry over for an hour, and then you go walk Seattle, get as plastered as you want to, and then walk back to the ferry and come home, so you're not having to do as much.
So when I was in, not only did I not have Uber, cell phones weren't even invented yet.
Oh God, please. Seriously. Yeah. See, he's doing the boot card right now. All right. He just waved the boot card.
No, I'm just saying, man, we didn't have nothing.
Yeah. His MREs back then weren't like the MREs that we have today. They were different.
I was in the Navy, man. I didn't
MREs.
eat MREs, man.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I'm sorry, man. When you're deployed to Iraq, I would eat like 5 MREs a day. I mean, I was 182 pounds.
You know how much sodium that is?
Yeah. But do you know how much I drank those 2-liter bottles? I had like at least 12 of them a day. Like my urine was extremely clear in Iraq. Well, it was amazing.
Because it was 5,000 degrees there.
Yeah.
127 in July. And that's not even the hottest part of the month. And I took a picture of that temperature gauge. August is way hotter. August was like 130, 135.
Well, the aircraft carrier is air conditioned, buddy.
Oh yeah, well, but I'm also, hey, Fleek, but I'm also on the ground shooting people, so I mean,
there's that too.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I'm just kidding, Fleek. I'm just kidding. You are a great yeoman.
So yeah, we had air conditioning, but we didn't have hot water. So every time I took a shower, it was ice cold.
Oh, you didn't have hot water?
That, like, when we were underway, we hardly ever had hot water. Freezing ass water. It was crazy.
Well, I think because I was in the bakery. Well, actually, I take that back. Just kidding. I remember having to boil water to get my ice. See, again, this was so long ago. I shoved all of this down. I couldn't even tell you. But I remember having to ice in the cakes, and then I had to wash the icing bags, or I had to boil water. Oh, I didn't boil it. They boiled it, kind of thing. But
because you ever bake one of those giant cakes for like change of command or something, man?
Yeah. So
massive.
So that's how I actually got the job. My friend Kara, she was like, "Here, help me with this cake," because she was wanting to go in the office, is really what it was. And so I helped her. I helped decorate it. I helped ice it. And it's the sheet pancakes. This is not the size of sheet pan, but sheet pancakes. And then it's 4. Ours was an aircraft carrier cake holder that we had. And so it looked like an aircraft carrier. You put the cake on top of it. So it was 4 sheet pan. So 6 in total. No. Yeah, it was 6, not 4, not 8. It was 6. Double stacks. But anyways, so we would make those, and that was the first one I did. And I got the job immediately. And then I started doing 3D cakes. And this is me teaching myself, because they don't have school, and I didn't go, when you go in for CS, you learn how to throw spaghetti sauce in a thing. That's it. You don't do anything crazy. I think I baked one thing when I was in A school. And so I started doing more of that. I started, let me back up. I started doing the 3D cakes, and the very first one I did, we did a 360 on the ocean. I'm sure you guys remember what that is. So it's when the whole ship tilts over like crazy. Yeah. And I have this monument that I'm trying to hold on. And so I have 2 people holding on to it, 2 people holding on the cake, because the thing's heavy, and we're doing a 360, and we're all right here. So I'm like praying in heaven, and that the cake doesn't fall off. And of course the monument falls because gravity, it blew it that way. And I know.
No, I love that. I'm glad you said gravity. I'm really glad that you said that.
But I think that was some of my funnest memories was a lot of the big underways and the 360, because you see everything and you see people walking down the P-ways and they're literally grabbing the walls,
The P-way. Oh, man. God, sorry. I haven't heard that term in a long time.
The terminology is coming back because, again,
yeah, it is.
But anyways, so they were going through all of that, and so that was super fun. But I did competitions. I won 2 and placed 3rd. I don't count 3rd as winning. In another one, when I was on my 2nd command, when I went shore duty for a year, I think, year and a month or something like that, because I had my son. So I was on shore duty for then, and I competed the entire time. I worked really, really hard, and I did a whole lot in that. I actually worked myself into, well, that's a little dark. We're not going to go there. But anyways, so I did. I competed, and I shook hands with so many admirals. I couldn't even tell you how many admirals I shook hands with because everyone knew my name. I would go on... I'd walk through any P-way and be like, "Hey, Barnes." I'm like, "Oh, hi." I don't even know who you are. Like, "Hey, Barnes." And then they come and try to get cookies. And I actually had to kick out I don't even remember, one of the officers. I still don't remember all the terminology. I had to kick an officer out of my bakery because he wouldn't listen. And he just kept coming in and taking cookies again. I had too much power. I really did.
Sir, get out of here now. Get out of here now. Sir, get out of here right now.
And he wasn't always the nicest. Most everybody was nice, but he was not the nicest. And I had some amazing senior chiefs. I still talk to a few of them. I don't know how they put up with me because I was a train wreck and a half in a lot of the ways. And I'm sure we all felt like that at times. But let's see. I got some awards. I don't even know what the awards are. I don't think they were Purple Hearts or anything like that because I didn't get injured. But again, I shoved it all down.
Yeah.
And I'm devaluing myself as I speak about it because I feel like I didn't do enough. I don't know if you guys feel that or not. I feel like I didn't do enough, and I let my command down, even though I didn't do anything wrong. I have an honorable discharge and everything's fine. But, I did have a kid in the military, and I was a woman in the military. So that aspect of it, I don't know if there's women that listen or not, but I'm sure they could probably relate. I always felt like I didn't belong, even though I did. That's why I worked so hard. I was one of the top in boot camp, one of the top in A school. I actually commanded the whole group, whatever that was called back then. I don't even know. But I did the cadence and all that fun stuff in A school. And then, of course, I became head baker in 3 months. And I was doing all kinds of celebration stuff. The big cakes. My last cake I did, it was in all kinds of newspapers, and it was really, really good. And I actually didn't get credit for that, which really, that was a whole nother story that I don't want to dig into.
Bastards.
But, I worked myself so hard. I barely slept. I don't know about you guys, but I felt like I had to go above and beyond. And if I showed weakness, I got ran over. And whenever I got pregnant, that was mega weakness right there. And I beat myself up, and I kind of still do too. I actually regret it. I don't regret my son by no means. He's an amazing human being. You can probably hear me, but he is. But having a kid in the military, it was the worst decision I could have ever made. And I didn't do it again. And one and done was that in the military. And I didn't actually get pregnant with my second one until I was 27. So that was a big gap because I just...
How many children do you have? 2?
Oh, I have two.
How old are they?
7 and 7 and 12?
Yeah.
7 and 12.
They're listening.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, go ahead. I know I'm a mom always. I can't shut it off, guys. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
No. You're Pam, you are worthy of being a veteran. You did a lot of great stuff, and you are not devaluing anything, okay? Because what you did was great. You served our military, and you came out with an honorable discharge. You cannot devalue that whatsoever. And I'm just here to reassure you. Me and Fleek are both here to reassure you that you did a great job. I mean, let me tell you a story. I had a horrible first year, a really good second year, and a really good third year. I got injured my second deployment. They put me on desk duty my third deployment. And you know what? I was like, I had 3 deployments, I'm out. And I did. And I kind of regret not being back in. I mean, I'd be a E7 or a first sergeant or a gunny right now. But if I was there, I wouldn't have met my wife. I wouldn't be the state chaplain. I wouldn't be a commander. I wouldn't be the veteran advocate that I am if I had stayed in. And what we're doing right now, you're a marketer. I'm a veteran advocate. Fleek is a nonprofit. I mean, kingpin.
I don't know about
what you did was amazing. What Fleek is doing. Shut up. Take the damn compliment, Fleek.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. There you go, devaluing yourself.
Always.
Yeah. We are from Shakespeare's play, we few, we happy few, we band of brothers and sisters. That's what we are. And that's from Henry V, because I just watched that movie the other day, and I love that movie, by the way. I'm getting well, come on. I was a classical studies major in college. Of course I'm getting deep. Man, I had to write a 5-page paper about myself the other day. I got really deep with that. And I don't write about myself. Like Pam, I don't like doing that, but I had to. It was a homework assignment for something that I'm getting into. I can't really talk about it right now. But I had to write an autobiography about myself and my spiritual journey. And I just didn't like it. And it took me like 3 days to do, and it was like 3,000 words. And, I didn't like it. But you know what? It's okay. I got it done. And sometimes we don't like doing the stuff we do. But if we stay consistent, we will move on and we will get better. And that's what Epictetus says, to be consistent with all the stuff you do. And it sounds like you're already doing that.
I'm working on it.
And that's okay. It's progress, not perfection.
Right. Yeah, I was really nervous to come and speak and talk because, again, I just recently started being a veteran, really. Last year was the very first year I ever celebrated it. And so I got out in 14. So 20.
How with that, you should celebrate that shit every day.
Every day.
Every day. I didn't. And, and I went to a VA thing and I was like, well, I don't belong here. Why am I here? Because I don't have battle wounds I don't have battle
wounds either.
Doesn't matter. You took that oath. We all took that oath.
Yeah.
All of it. I will defend
I go to Lowe's over Home Depot just so I can have my own parking spot.
That's pretty cool. Well, I have a disability.
Wow.
So I have a
so the truth comes out. Past Commander Fleek.
Yeah.
I love Lowe's and what they do for veterans.
I do too.
Yeah, me too.
Have you ever been there at Memorial Day? They block off they have 4 spots for veterans. It says veteran parking only. On Memorial Day, they rope it off and they put a POW flag on a chair and American flag. Man, it's done up right. It's amazing. And it's outside the entire weekend.
Yeah, I like that. Some of the places that I worked after I got out of the military, I did that because it's very, very important. And I knew a few people while I was in the military that we lost. And it was not a fun experience. Of course, we all deal with that. But yeah, I always try to help in any way I can with that way. Because again, I'm also a helper. And I think the military, actually, I know the military turned me into a people pleaser. When I tell people that I was in the military, some of them don't believe it at all because I don't have that tough persona anymore. It broke me. I don't know about you guys, but when I got out, and anybody else that's listening, when I got out, I was a very broken human being. And I stayed broken until 2020. So I was pretty broken for a while. I never wanted to go that far. I came close once in the military, but it was just more of I was an angry person and hurt people. And I was hurting people without realizing I was hurting people. Because again, when you're hurt, you don't see anything other than the pain, and, sorry.
It's okay. Hey, Pam, hey, I've been there. I did the same thing. When I got out, that's what I did. I was a narcissist. I was an egomaniac. I was a drunk. I hurt people. I almost lost my family. I was divorced. I lost my brother. I lost my son.
Your father.
I lost my father while I was in boot camp. I lost 26 of my friends while deployed. I was worthless. I had no value to myself. I had no confidence in myself. I was like, I'm worthless. I'm weak. It took me a long time, a lot of introspection on myself to get where I am today. And you know what? A support system always helps. And you know what? You have a support system now. You have us.
Well, thanks.
Coffee with a veteran, 8:00 every Sunday. You come, you hang out. We don't even talk veteran stuff. We talk sports, or we talk how much Detroit Lions stink, or University.
Bro, come on. How would you say that?
Sorry, just kidding.
Well,
or University of Michigan and how terrible they are. I'm going to get a lot of shit for that because we've got a lot of University of Michigan fans on this podcast.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, you should come hang out with us because a support system. We are here to help each other out. I got his 6. I got your 6, and hopefully you guys got my 6. We're here for you.
If you're ever in Murfreesboro on a Sunday morning, you should stop by Joni's. Still called Joni's, right?
Joni's on the square. Yeah, it's right next to the courthouse. The old courthouse.
I'm looking into getting deeper into it. Again, I'm just now started.
Oh no, it's you gotta crawl before you walk, and that's great.
Yeah,
gotta find yourself before you can get back into it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And you're getting emotional is exactly why we love doing these shows, because we want people. There's a young female out there hurting right now that just got out of the military, and she needs to know that she's not the only person that's going through this.
Right.
We've got a couple females in our VFW, and you know what? They probably went through the same stuff you went through.
Yeah.
One day I'll probably write a book about it because it was
okay. Hey, ChatGPT works wonders.
Just to get it out,
Just get it out.
Just get it out because it's my wounds are all mental and emotional, and I know it seems super silly to say that, but
it's not. No, it's not silly at all.
I'm finally becoming the change in the world that I needed. And I finally feel like I have a footing into who I want to be and how I want to present myself to the world versus letting the outside world telling me who I am.
Nope,
and
can't do
who
that.
I should be.
Outside world, hey, the only thing you can control is your response. And you know what? You just did that. You are not going to let outside things affect who you are. And it took me a long time to get there because I was a people pleaser. Okay. And I said yes to everything. Well, I've started saying no to a lot of things, and I feel good about it. And I want to do what's going to make me happy. And you want to do that. You want to make yourself happy by choosing the things that you want to do. And Fleek, he's doing that every single day.
I try.
It's remarkable what you're doing. And that's why I thought, well, this might be a safe place to get on here.
This is a very safe place. No judgment
we're all
here.
friends.
This is a judgment-free zone.
And I promise you one thing, you're not the first person to cry on this show.
No, you're not.
I guarantee you that.
We had a Vietnam veteran cry on our show. The guy, that was what, 2 years ago, right, Fleek?
Yeah.
He bawled like a baby. I mean, it was, but it's, that crying, that
again,
feeling.
it's therapeutic. That's what I said before we even started talking to you. It's therapeutic.
It is.
It's therapeutic for you. It's therapeutic for you. It's therapeutic to us, and it's therapeutic to. I guarantee you, there's a woman out there that's going to hear your story, and it's going to be therapeutic to her.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what we do. We save lives. Somebody out there is going to hear your story, and they're about to jump off a bridge or something, and like, oh wait a second, I'm not the only one that's out here. I swear to God, I say that in jest, but it really does happen. After we started doing this,
not to you, but to
a young man instant messaged me a couple years ago and said, "Hey man, I just want to let you know, thank you for that episode. I was there in Iraq when that guy was talking, and I just want to let you know, thank you." And I was like, "Holy shit, it's freaking working, man! It's actually working." So I say that stuff, and people think I'm joking, but I'm not joking at all, man. Not one bit.
Well, I hope. I told you guys this would happen. I told you guys. My hope is with all of this, that the growth and the working through all of it, the stress and the trauma, because it's trauma. I don't care what anybody says. It is. Yeah. Whether you got yelled at in boot camp all day long, or you messed up a few times and you did something like you lost some stuff, or I felt like I let people down all the time.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. Trauma's trauma.
And I worked even harder. So I will share this story. My story is a little dark, but not this story that I'm sharing. I promise I'm not going to share a dark story on here, a real dark one. But
just share whatever you want.
When I joined the military, I felt so excited, as I said before, and I worked really hard. And I went in my first command. It just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. The command was amazing, but the military aspect, I felt like my dreams got crushed because it's not what it's advertised, which we all know this. It's not, and
it's not a rose garden.
It's not, no. Which I knew it wasn't going to be a rose garden, but I did not realize that it was going to affect me the way that it did. And when it affected me the way that it did, I started beating myself up because I'm like, this is my 20-year dream. I have to shove through. And because I was a woman in the military, there was all these men around and loved many of them to pieces, but I felt like I was a piece of meat. When again, I was married. I never did anything in the military with anybody other than my husband. But I felt like I was looked at like a piece of meat. I wasn't respected at all. That's one reason why I took the baking job that I did, because I needed respect. And respect is one of my love languages. I will respect anyone on the planet. So don't think that, I don't want that to come out as ego, because it's not. I don't think I'm better than anyone on this planet, nor do I feel like I am. I don't demand it. I don't need to demand it from my kids. But whenever you're shown absolutely none whatsoever, and you're talked down to all the time, and you're ignored regularly, it's hard, So what I did and how I coped with it is I would work so hard, and I would not sleep, because I would be working at home and at work. So, and I know we all did this, but I have developed this habit, and I've gotten to where it's really hard for me to turn that habit off, but I was doing research while I was at home on baking and stuff like that. Because again, I was brand new to it. So I was looking at all these 3D cakes and all this, like I was teaching it like it was or treating it like it was a chemistry assignment versus like I was a chemist versus all this other stuff. So I went in there and I started working really hard. And I noticed after 6 months in how hard I was working, because again, I wasn't sleeping, and how much it was hitting me at that point. And somebody made the comment once after 6 months. And of course I got cheered on too. It's not like it was just like down, 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 down all the time. It wasn't. But when I got cheered, I ignored it or I discarded it. And I said, well, that's not me. And anytime I was told I wasn't good enough or I was worthless, because, you know, we all get told we're worthless, I would believe that instead of the other stuff. So, of course, in the Navy, you fight all the time, whether it's physical or emotional or just with your words. So I remember fighting with several women. I slammed a door in front of a woman's face because she came at me while I was pregnant and I was working really, really hard. I actually worked myself into a miscarriage, the first one. And that was not fun. Of course, none of that's fun. And then that made me a failure at home and a failure in the military. So I worked even harder. Working is what I do when I don't feel like I'm enough. I work so hard. So I was busting out probably 18 to 23 hours a day, every day for months. And I didn't stop. And then I would sleep or not sleep. And of course, we all have insomnia. Now I've noticed a lot of vets that I talk to, everybody's got insomnia, but it's probably because of the work schedule. But I was working. And they're like, well, you're home, or I'd leave at 2:00 and I'd go home and I'd start baking and doing all kinds of stuff to make sure that everything was right and perfect and wonderful. And of course it never was, because I was a baker in the military. I wasn't getting shot in Iraq, you know, and I wasn't, on the top of the aircraft carrier and helping, you know, anyone and everyone's job was better than mine, like more hardcore than mine. Let me say it that way.
No, every job is essential. From the,
of course.
From the lowest of the pogues to the highest of SF operators. I mean, we all took an oath to defend this country, and you know, you did amazing baking. You know, Fleek was an amazing yeoman. Whatever yeomans do, I have no idea what yeomans do.
Paperwork.
Everything.
Yeomans do paperwork. He did really good job at that. I did. Hey, I scored a 54 on my ASVAB. Okay, all I wanted was to be infantry, and I went to college. I was 26 when I went to boot camp. I was the oldest, dumbest, smart kid that Paris Island had ever seen. And they got me. They called me old man every single day. Old man. Hey, old man Farr, come here.
He has an interesting story. He had a bachelor's degree before he left. He could have been an officer. He didn't.
I could have been.
His mom hung out with Tipper Gore. This guy comes.
Went to school.
I would say
went to school with Tipper Gore.
I'll say it. He's privileged.
Yeah, Dad was a doctor, Mom was a lawyer. Yeah, I had a nice upbringing. Yes, Dad was, you know, a lieutenant.
He wore a bow tie to school every day.
No, I wore no bow ties. I wore a single Windsor and a jacket. I went to boarding school, and then I went to a small private college. And you know what? I didn't go be a doctor. I didn't go be a lawyer. I was like, I'm going to go serve my country, and I could have gone in 2001. Didn't, because my mom didn't want me to go. So I waited 3 years, and then I went in 2004. And then I got out in 2008. And yeah, I got a Purple Heart in 2006. And I saw a lot of bad shit. But also that was trauma too. You know, I drank for a long time after that. And I wasn't happy with myself. And I wasn't happy with, I couldn't love it. I couldn't love myself, and I damn well couldn't love anybody else. And finally, I got sober. I met the girl of my dreams who is next door doing homework for her MBA. We got married 5 years ago, and I have a house. I can actually save money instead of wasting it on booze. I mean, I had to make the changes. I had to, because if I didn't, I was gonna falter and die or something, or go to jail forever. I've got 2 DUIs under my belt too.
Yeah.
Listen, boys and girls, don't do that.
Now the second one wasn't as bad as the first one. I'll tell you that, boys.
They're all
and girls.
bad.
The first one was 10 grand. The second one, not so much, but still 18 months of Veterans Treatment Court. I mean, it was fun. It was great. And I graduated early, but I don't put that on anyone. Like, don't drink and drive.
Yeah.
Know your limit. Get an Uber, because
so easy to get a ride these days.
Well, hey, if you need a ride, I'm your designated driver forever.
So I have a question for you, Pam. Outside of your family, your son, what's the best thing that you got out of the military?
My determination. You cannot tell me no. You cannot. Well, in sales, yes, but I'd like to work for free. But if there's a problem that somebody's having and with their business or with personal stuff, I fight. I research it. I fight tooth and nail for it, and I figure out the solution, and I map it out, and then we just go. And I go 90 miles of nothing to it. And again, that's from the work ethic that I developed in that. And yes, it's exhausting, but at the same time, if people know if something needs to get done, you contact me. People know that I am everywhere. In marketing, I am all over the place, and I help anyone and everyone in need. And I don't stop. I don't know how to stop. I don't know about you guys, but I have no idea how to stop, and I don't necessarily want to either.
That sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But work is my coping mechanism, and it hurts at times, but honestly and truly, it's the best thing that ever happened to me when it comes to my drive. I have a tremendous drive. You will not outwork me. You will not. It's impossible, because again, I went from working so many hours, which is very unhealthy. But if there is something that I need to do and it needs to get done, you will not outwork me.
You need a good balance in life. That's for sure.
You do.
It's okay to work hard as long as you play hard too.
Oh, I don't actually. I don't drink. I don't smoke cigarettes or any of that. I don't do. When I say I don't drink, I'll have like one spritzer or a half. But I don't know about you guys. I was exposed to radiation from the aircraft carrier whenever all that stuff happened in Japan, right? Where the nuclear thing hit. When was that? I can't even remember. But anyways, when I went to the Ronald Reagan went over there, and a lot of people, not to get into politics or any of that, but people got sick, because again, it's a lot of radiation. So I was exposed to a lot of radiation, which is some of the reasons why a lot of people think I have the amount of anxiety that I have now. I don't know about you guys, but it gets crippling sometimes. And I've never experienced that in my life until about a couple of years ago. I will literally shut down and not move and just shake. Like my body vibrates. And the only thing that helps is going to the hospital and I don't even know what medicine it is, because my body will literally shake. And they say it's not a seizure because I don't ever go out. But there was a reason for this. I don't remember what it was. Why did that conversation come up? I don't even remember, but yeah. there was a point I was getting at. I just lost it.
It happens. Hey, I lose my points all the time. It happens.
All right. So we're actually over an hour.
Yeah. Hour
Well,
11. That's hey, Pam, you did awesome. You did great.
We appreciate you coming on. And before I let you go, I just want to do one thing. If you guys are out there and need any good marketing person, check out this website. I understand she's pretty good at what she does.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. If you want somebody that's going to work hard for you and help navigate you through all the marketing needs.
Nice. There you go. There you go.
But I hope this helps somebody. I hope so. And again, I'm working on being less hard on myself. It's going to take time. Maybe I'll get it when I'm 45, 50.
And again, when my executive director gets settled, he's literally going to be living right here. I probably see his house from out my window right here. When he gets settled, we're probably going to get a hold of you and talk websites and marketing and logos and all kinds of stuff. I have all kinds of ideas, but everything's on hold right now until we get going. I'm trying to put my little team together because, like I said, we've been doing this for 2 years, but I've been basically doing it solely by myself. I mean, Chaps helps out with guests and he helps me talk on the show, but all the behind the scenes stuff I've been doing myself for the last 2 years.
I don't help with that stuff. He can take care of that stuff.
I have I wouldn't say I'm a control freak, but kind of like my brand is very my brand is
not a control freak, dude.
My brand is very important to me. Well, no, I don't think I am. My wife would probably disagree.
Are you kidding me? Dude, you don't micromanage. You are definitely, dude, seriously, you are not a control freak at all.
But I don't know with my brand. So we had another guy who tried to take our idea and do a fundraiser, and I called him some nasty words because he didn't really steal, he tried to borrow my ideas. And so I kind of got a hold of him. I don't like that, but like that kind of stuff, but again, you know, do you know what I'm talking about?
Now I know.
I don't want to say any names.
Never mind. We're not saying names, but I definitely know.
But I called him a fraud a couple of times. It was pretty bad. I lost my cool. But
for a second, and then he got composure back.
Yeah,
I'm working on that.
I'll hit my limit and then I'll calm off and then I'll go right back down. Then I'm good. And then literally 2 days later, I was like, hey, anybody need a roof? I got a guy that's giving away a free roof to a veteran. And he responded. I'm like, yeah, I'll help you out. And everybody was like, okay, why did you help him out when you literally just lit his ass up 2 days ago? I'm like, I said what I had to say, and I feel better now. And he's still a veteran looking for a roof. And I had a guy looking to give a roof away. I don't know if it ever came together, but I said, put the two together. And, he's still a veteran. He's still served my country, even though half the shit he says is probably a little fraudish, but hey, whatever. I'm dealing with it.
Hey. Okay. All right. I think we see your point. Damn, dude. Wow. You went off on another tangent.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm reeling you back in. Shipmate.
All right. Thank you. I'm back. Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Hey.
So my point is, in 2 weeks, once my buddy gets settled, we'll probably reach out to you and see if you can help us out marketing and do nonprofit stuff.
Okay. Well, thank you. And thank you for giving me a place to be vulnerable. I'm working on that.
Yes.
Being in business is a very, very good way to be vulnerable, and being vulnerable makes you stronger. I know a lot of people, we were taught, I don't know if you were taught, but as a kid, I was taught, you don't show your emotions. But emotional intelligence is everything. And, being able to be you 110%, no matter what else is going on, you're going to be able to find amazing, wonderful people that are going to tie into that and really, really, really love you for who you are. And you will be able to help them on a level that most people will never be able to touch. And that's why this is so important. And that's why you are remarkable. Both of you are, because what you're doing is providing.
I'm a little bit more remarkable than him, though. Right?
Really?
You're providing that safe place.
Really, Yeoman?
And I never once felt like I was disregarded or felt like my pain wasn't validated, or that my triumphs even wasn't validated. And I really appreciate that, because it's a lot. And I'm sorry I didn't get all the terminology correct in the beginning.
You're good. It's okay.
But thank you so much for this. And I appreciate everything. And I really hope that somebody out there heard this and it helps them, because my big dream is to help people. I want to be a motivational speaker one day and really be able to help people find their courage and their true selves, instead of what the world tells them they are, and grow into that and be the human beings they were put on this earth to be, instead of what everyone tells them they should be.
So I have a person I want to introduce you to. He's NLP. He's a public speaker. He works with trauma. His name is Greg Pease. He's a phenomenal human being. I think you two would hit it off very well, and I think you could both help each other.
That would be amazing. I would love that. And I would love to get in touch with the VFW. If I have somebody there that I know, I know. That's what I was like. Then it would be a little easier. And now that I've told my story to somebody that's there, they're going to know that I feel like maybe I would feel more welcomed, and I would feel like I belong.
Yeah, of course.
Versus,
we got you. The Episcopal Church.
I appreciate
we welcome everybody.
I appreciate it greatly. And please email me with any questions I have with anything.
Pam, are you on Facebook?
I am.
Okay.
Pam Barnes. Well, Pamela Barnes, Pamela.
Oh, there you are.
And I've got like a really fun picture with a pin that I have, because I can be quite funny and unique and different in a good way, but the anxiety is.
Oh, you're friends with Mr. Grady Payne.
Yeah.
Grady's son is in the Navy. I think you guys might have talked about that at the 9/11 celebration.
We did. We must.
Grady's a good dude. I'm in Chamber. I used to be in Chamber of Commerce with him. Good dude.
Okay. I just joined it.
Did you what up here in Murfreesboro?
Mm-hmm. I did.
With what's her name? Kelly Beam. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
her daughter goes to Blackman High School. I see her every once in a while. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, excellent. We'll get you busy.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Helping vets. I guarantee you it's very rewarding.
Very.
Very, very rewarding.
Well,
although my tickets for this Sunday, full disclosure, a veteran is not going to this game Sunday. I'm going to be in Detroit. I wasn't going to go to the game, but I did a little horse trading with my daughter. My daughter is going to get my tickets from the nonprofit, and in lieu of the tickets, I get my granddaughter for the day. She's going to be 1 year old. So, yes,
that's awesome, man.
So, my daughter gets to go see the Detroit Lions, and I get to hang out with my granddaughter that I hardly ever get to see because she lives up in Detroit. So,
that's really exciting.
Trade.
That's awesome.
But, okay, I will let you go for now, and again, be on the lookout for some emails or some phone calls from myself and my team, and we'll see what we can do together.
All right. Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks for everything.
Thanks, Pam.
Stick around for 1 second. I want to make sure you're recording uploads, but everybody that's listening, watching, thank you for joining in, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. See you guys next Sunday.